Mm-hmm. What's going on, folks? It's Moji, the king of it all. It's Mojini, baby. I'm here with my main man, Tony T. Teflon TV is the bareback barbarians doing what we do. Hey, Tony, people, converse.
Hey, yo, what the deal, my people? You know, this is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you, another one, and I'm here chilling my man Mo. You know how we do every motherfucking week. We up in this motherfucker talking about Game of Thrones season 6, shit that's gonna come in season 7, all the shit that's going down. But Mo, I ain't looking at the chat right now, so I don't know if my man's up in the chat. There's something I must address. I want to like to address this real quick if I can, because I like to address things early so that when I say stuff in the video about somebody, they ain't got to go to the 2 hour and 45 minute mark. They ain't got to go to 1 hour and 35 minutes. They can just go to the beginning of the video and see what the fuck I'm going to say. So this goes out to my man, Don motherfucking Willie. Now, I heard a comment that Don Willie made the other day about a movie that Don Tony Teflon likes a lot, and that is The Outsiders. So let me address Don Willie comment on this movie real quick. First, I don't think Don Willie has seen this movie, because if he did, I don't think he would have made this comment about it. But maybe me and Don Willie should sit down and watch this movie together. But The Outsiders is a great movie, great, regardless of the Rotten Tomatoes score that it gotten. I'm telling you, it's a great motherfucking movie. Now, his comment was that Pony Boy, how can Pony Boy be a thug? How can I take it seriously if there's a guy named Pony Boy that's a thug? And that's 100% correct, but Pony Boy is not a thug. He wants to be a thug because his older brothers are thugs. But the whole point of the movie is he has to do his own path. He's not meant to be like them. He's just a wannabe. And that's why he gets caught up in the situation he does with Johnny, because Johnny's another wannabe who's just caught in a social situation where they're looked down upon. So they think that that's all they can be in life is what their older brothers are. But they're not those dudes. So that's the whole point of Pony Boy. He is not a thug. 100%. He wants to be, but he's a wannabe. And that's what I think the movie's about. So I think if he would have watched it, or if he knew that, he wouldn't have said that. So I don't think maybe Don Willie needs to be refreshed on The Outsiders or something like that. But The Outsiders is definitely a great movie. What up to all my people in the chat? I ain't looking at the chat right now, but what up to all y'all? I'll take a look in there in a second.
What up, what up, what up, everybody in the chat? Shout out. We call this the Power Hour, folks. You here with Don Teflon, you here with Moji, and Don Willie just got knowledge dropped. Don Willie just got checked. You better watch that movie, Don Willie. Don't ever let Teflon hear you talk about The Outsiders, because you gotta stay golden, Pony Boy.
That's
Teflon,
right.
What it is, man.
When it comes to The Outsiders, Dirty Dancing, you know, you can't talk to me about those movies, man. You know what I mean? Those are like my favorite movies, man. You know what I mean? Those movies, Shawshank Redemption, we talk about movies like that. Those are my favorite movies of all time, man. So I'm willing to talk about them all day. I just think he got confused on it, you know what I mean? Or he just must have forgot, because obviously Pony Boy is not, you know, who gonna call some cat Pony Boy a thug? No, nobody, man. Ain't nobody named Pony Boy no thug, you know what I mean? But that's kind of the point of the movie and stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Them movies to me is like brown butter on a hot biscuit. Them movies to me is like an egg McMuffin in the morning with coffee. It just hits right. It hits in the stomach right. The Outsiders, The Warriors. These are movies of my childhood. These are movies of my youth, Teflon.
No doubt about it. And it's like in Outsiders, it just shows you, like, in the world, if there was no black people, let's just say, because in that movie, it's basically no black people, this is what it would still be. They would still, if there was just white people, they would find ways to have conflict with each other, because people just like to have conflict. So whether it's skin color or social class or whatever it is, or status, that's all this movie is, and that's all that it shows. But yeah, the Warriors are I don't think he said anything bad about the Warriors. The Warriors, come on, baby. You know what I mean? That's the Warriors.
Them movies to me is untouchable, you know. But we'll do a video for them on another day in another place. Right now, we talking about The Wall. We talking about Game of Thrones. We talking about everything we like in the Song of Ice and Fire. Now, y'all heard that HBO's got the rights to Robert's Rebellion. They don't have the rights to Dunk and Egg. They don't have the rights to that particular short story, but they do for Robert's Rebellion. Teflon, what's the better story for a cable television network to take on.
It's better for them to do Robert's Rebellion because people are still familiar with the characters. So I think just for a general audience, or let's say a decaf audience, some people who don't read the books, they would still be able to recognize the people in it. So for those reasons, I would have to say without a doubt it's Robert's Rebellion. But as a book fan, a book reader, I'd rather see a Dance with Dragons around there. I'd rather see a bunch of dragons flying around. I like that shit much better. I think that would be better, but I think that people will get too confused with the, they believe that people will get too confused with the names. And they, you know, they've dumbed down shit for people already, thinking people are dumb, you know what I mean, and changed people's names because they thought people couldn't adapt to people with the same name. Even though in our world, we know a billion people with the same name. And then we were able to adapt from it, you know, but they're thinking, oh, that everyone's got to have a different name, yada, 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 this, that, and that. So I think without a doubt, it'd be better for them to put Robert's Rebellion. I'm happy to see Robert's Rebellion, you know what I mean? I definitely take it, you know what I mean? I take anything they give, but I would rather see, without a doubt, a Dance with Dragons.
I mean, the thing is, Sir Duncan the Tall and Egg, that to me is better left for a movie. I don't think Robert's Rebellion is long. The story is long enough to do a movie, but I think they could with Sir Duncan the Tall.
It's not as exciting. Yeah, it's Duncan Egg. You know, it's not a lot of, not too much action going on. There's a lot of talking. There's some action here and there, but not a lot. Not enough to carry a series of shows. You get one fight a year. You know what I mean? In that, and that wouldn't be enough to carry it. Robert's Rebellion is beef. Beef from the jump. As soon as the tourney of Harrenhal starts, beef is on. And it's drama right off there. You know what I mean? Every episode you could have a fight or some type of skirmish or something like that. So that's why I would think they would do it.
What's beef? Beef is when you need two gets to go to sleep. Teflon.
No doubt. Beef is when you fucking ain't safe to go to the store with your moms.
Woo! This is what it is, man. Robert's Rebellion is pure beef. It's pure lean. It's pure steak, man. I mean, it's got so much action. It's got everything you want. You start off at the tourney of Harrenhal, and you do all that, and what that's all about. They could do everything surrounding the tourney of Harrenhal, and after, a little bit after the tourney of Harrenhal, that could be season 1, in my opinion, Teflon.
Yeah. So I would think if they do that, then they can't really, you know, if you do that, now, are you going to touch on it in season 7? I thought they were going to show a lot of the tourney in Harrenhal this season, in season 7. I was hoping that they would show a lot of this tournament there. But if they're going to do a rebellion, are they going to use the same actors? That would be the case. If they are going to use some of these same actors for the rebellion, then I think they do it this season. But they plan on changing Lyanna Stark, or plan on using a different Ned Stark, or plan on using people different. Then I think that they can't do it this season. There wouldn't be any way.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because we all want to see Harrenhal this season, and we pretty much deciphered it with the pictures that we saw in the new filming locations. That's pretty much a guarantee. I don't know what else that pit could have been.
It has to be. It has to be. There's no other way around. That's what they're showing. So, you know, it'd be showing some of it. It's just how in depth, and this, like I said, are they going to use the same actors? I would like them to use the same Ned. If they're going to do it, keep the same people there. You know what I mean? Keep it consistent. Bring back this lady as Lyanna Stark. Bring out whoever they bring in to play Rhaegar, make that guy Rhaegar. Whoever you bring in to play Robert, make him Robert. And put those guys in there, but make it right like that. If you do it like that, then it works for me. If not, if you change all the actors up and it's a whole bunch of different people, it ain't gonna feel the same.
Yeah, well, they already got the young Ned Stark. They got the young Lyanna. They already got them cast, so that's dope right there.
Yeah, it's who they gonna bring in for Robert. And I need to see this Robert. This guy's got to be ferocious. So you're gonna bring in Robert. I need to see someone that I could truly believe that's able to win all these battles in one day, that truly can rally people around him like that. You know what I mean? They better bring in somebody good.
I'm thinking that the Battle of the Trident and everything a little bit before and a little bit after would be season 2. It would literally be Robert fighting on the stepstones. It would be Barristan Selmy, the Battle of the Bells. It would be the whole 9 yards. It would be some stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't see it going over 3 seasons. That would be the most I could see it going. If anything, they stretched it. It depends how far they go back with it. You know what I mean? If it's going to be called Robert's Rebellion, then you have to get to the rebellion. I don't know if they're going to go into Ned Stark and Robert growing up together, being hanging out together there. You know, I don't know if that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? There, if they're gonna show that far back, it all depends how far back they want to go. How much of the Mad King are they gonna show? How much of his family are they gonna show? How much are they gonna touch on there? You know what I mean? Are they gonna touch on Viserys and Daenerys and things like that? You know. It all depends. If Tyrion, is he going to be in it? And all these people, I mean, they should be in it. They have to have something going on there. You know what I mean? You got to show all this stuff. So it could be stretched out, but it just depends how much they're going to stretch it out without getting stupid. And they'll be able to make it right, because we don't have, they'll be going basically, you know, it'll be like Orange is a New Black situation. And what was that, one book? How long was that book? And they stretched this thing to what, 4 seasons now? You know what I mean? So it's a situation like that. And it got, I think, even though Orange is the New Black, I think this season stepped it up. But the last season I thought was whack. You know what I mean? So it all depends how it goes.
It's basically doing a reverse Cliff Notes. It's taking a small bit of information and trying to turn it into something huge. You know, Orange is the New Black had 1 book. I don't know how many seasons they got of that. Robert's Rebellion is only a little bit of information, and you're going to try to turn it into 3 seasons? It's a possibility. You know, you could use your imagination. They got to show us why the Mad King is mad, so they got to use at least 4, 5, 6 episodes of showing how paranoid and crazy this man was. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
And if that was the case, then you should have showed Bloodraven. You know, listen, that you know, it all comes down to shit like that too. You know what I mean? If you were gonna do that and go back to that, then why didn't you do Bloodraven the right motherfucking way? You know what I mean? Why didn't you do this shit right? Then you had the opportunity to do it, and you're gonna make him sit there like a fool and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They could have had that shit done right, and I wish they would have ran that right and shit. So it would have been much better if they did that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could go all day on a tangent talking about Robert's Rebellion. I mean, we could save that for another day, but that's basically what we have, folks. We have HBO has the rights to this, and we'll see what they do. They got to milk the cow for as long as they can. They only got 2 seasons left of this beautiful symphony we got going on here, so they got to stretch something out. So we'll see what HBO does. They got some smart dudes in the rooms. They know what they're doing over there at HBO. They've been making money a long time. They kicked out The Sopranos. They kicked out The Wire. Now they're about to kick out the Game of Thrones. They know this is like a factory. You got to keep pumping out good television, Teflon.
No doubt about it. Well, listen, I don't think they have a lot coming up after this. You know what I mean? When you look at the shows they came out with, they came out with Ballers. They came out, you know, with a couple of shows. But these shows are the social or Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? It's just entourage with people that are geeks and stuff like that. Basically, what this show is, from what I've seen of it, it's not. I don't think they bubbling like this. You know, they had a couple of shows bubble. You know, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones. I don't think they have another show like that right now, so I think that's why they're willing to go back and search for it.
When you saw season 1 Game of Thrones, we were just coming off the end of The Sopranos ending. I think it might have been a year before that, I believe, when it ended, or it was the same year as The Sopranos finale. When you saw season 1, episodes maybe 1 through 5, Teflon, did you think Game of Thrones would be on that level, would get to where we are right now, being possibly as good as Sopranos?
No, I didn't think that people would latch on to it the way they have latched on to it. I always knew that the book fans and stuff like that would work, because if you look at the other shows that came out like that, they weren't as popular. If you look at Rome, was a great show, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the most popular show on TV. You know what I mean? So when you looked at Camelot, that came out right after that, it wasn't the most popular show on TV. It got canceled after 1 season. When you look at The Tudors came around. It was a good show for Showtime, but it wasn't the most popular show on TV. But it didn't make people go subscribe to Showtime because of The Tudors. I never heard of anyone doing that. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. When you have, you know, subscriptions, to me, it's just like it's like when you buy a video game system. You know what I mean? Like when you buy a Nintendo system or PlayStation or whatever, you're buying that system because of that exclusive content for that system, because all the other games, you know, Major League Baseball and all that's going to be on every system. But, you know, if you were a fan of Link, you got to play that on Nintendo. You got to get that. You know what I mean? So it's a situation like that. If you want to play Gears of War, God of War, you got to buy a PlayStation or you got to buy an Xbox because you're fans of that franchise. So HBO, they need shows that make you have to subscribe to their channel to watch it. And that's what Game of Thrones is. That's what Sopranos was. So they need something like that to keep people coming in and buying their subscriptions. I don't think they have a show on their roster besides Game of Thrones right now that fits that bill.
Yeah, right now, I'm trying to find my second or third show that comes after Game of Thrones or Walking Dead. I've been checking out a couple things. Hype's Watch, try to put a couple of us on to the night of. I think that show is all right. It drags on a little bit, but it's all right. I really like Stranger Things. It's a show on Netflix. I don't know if any other people have seen it. It's a real weird sci-fi type of show with some evil stuff going on. It's, you know, it's some creepy, you know, alien type things. It's a cool show. Teflon, you checking out any new shows lately?
You know, I like the same shows. I like the Blacklist. That's a long season of the Blacklist, so I like that. I like The Turn. That's the show I watched. Washington's Generals. I watched the Real American West. I like that. I like biographies. I watch a lot of biographies. I watch a lot of news channels when I'm at home and stuff. But mostly when I watch things that's not Game of Thrones, it's a lot of documentaries, situation like that mostly. But you know, I want to watch Mr. Robot. I know I should watch. I watch, you know, Daredevil. Anything that comes out for Marvel superheroes, I'm all about that. You know what I mean? On Netflix, I watch all those shows and everything else. So I tried to watch that. What was that one show with the guys? I think that they were some type of werewolf family or something like that. They lived on some mountain and shit, and they were called like the feral ones and shit. Like, and they had some drink that was some special drink, and it made these people go crazy and kill each other. I don't even know what the name, but they look like some type of bikers. I don't know. I tried to watch it, but I got halfway through it.
The Outsiders. I think it's called The Outsiders.
Is that what that is? Yeah, I tried to watch that, but I got like halfway through season 1 and I stopped it. You know, and I didn't finish it.
Yeah, Vikings definitely dope.
Yeah, Vikings, without a doubt. I love Vikings. And The Walking Dead is something that I just recently started watching because, you know, it's it makes me laugh. It's more of a Walking Dead to me is a comedy. I don't know how people can't see it as that. It makes me laugh every episode.
Yeah, it's a little flimsy when you're like, man, these people in the apocalyptic world, they got guns. And it's basically the same scenes over and over. They just in a neighborhood running around.
Now they got a nigga with a tiger. You know what I mean? Sitting up on the throne. And shit. You know
Where
what I'm
did
saying?
they get a tiger from?
He tamed that motherfucker. How you tame that motherfucker to that point? Is that fucker so scared to get eaten by zombies that he's like, I'll do whatever you say. I'll sit right next to you. I don't know how you get a tiger trained to that point. Siegfried and Roy couldn't get a tiger trained to that point. You seen what happened to those motherfuckers?
They got their asses tore up.
You see what happened, right? You see what happened to their ass. Fuck with the tiger. You know, leave them animals alone. You better leave those motherfuckers alone. I ain't going nowhere in no damn tiger. I don't want to pet no goddamn dolphin. I don't want to swim with one. I ain't into that shit. Oh, you ain't getting me like Steve Irwin stabbed me in the chest. You ain't getting me like the grizzly man getting eaten by a bear. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, man. I ain't going out there. Not unless I got the gats with me. The guns is with me. I'm there.
I can understand on a comic book how a dude with a tiger might look cool, but on a real life television show, you gonna have some people scratching their heads like, what do you have since he was a cub?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I guess people have come here to hear some Game of Thrones talk. So I guess we should touch on some Game of Thrones stuff a little bit more. And we going off on tangents and stuff, just wilding out and talking.
It's the super tangent. It's the power hour.
No doubt.
Well, y'all know what y'all here for. Y'all here for the wall. We on Beyond the Wall. We talking Frost Fangs. We talking everything you want to hear. We talking Hard Home. We talking everything beyond
Hey, so
Winterfell.
I'm gonna give you something right off the bat, people in the chat, and I just turn the thing over to the chat to see y'all out there. What up? What up? I'll give you something real quick that I think is gonna happen next season after war, real quick, without a doubt. I don't think I've heard anyone say it, so I'll be the first to say it. That Benjen Cold Hand Stark will be killed by the Night's King. I don't think it's a big revelation, but I think that that's no doubt about it, that he will get killed by the hands of the Night's King next season.
Now hold up. Wait a minute. For the people who didn't catch that, y'all just got a doozy dropped on you by the man himself, Don Teflon. Rewind, Teflon. What'd you say?
I'm going to say that Benjen Cold Hand Starks will be killed by the Night's King next season.
On the television show, so you're basically saying that Cold Hand's going to kill by the Night's King.
No doubt about it. And there's no doubt about it. He'll be killed by a Night's King next season. He may even be resurrected and become one of the Night's King's general and be hanging with him after that.
Oh my God. Folks, you heard it here first. I don't want to hear anybody say they saw it on Reddit. I don't want to hear they saw it on the internet. You got it dropped by the Don himself, Benjen going over to the other side. Now, somebody asked us in the Q&A, I loved all your questions. Somebody actually asked us, will there be a famous white next season? Will there be someone who turns famous? I will give you my answer. Teflon just gave you his. I think it's going to be Hodor. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Hodor. He's got to be the most famous white that'll ever be. He held the door. So what's going to happen? His body definitely got caught up, Teflon.
Yeah, you know, he definitely got caught up. If they want to bring this actor back, I don't know how much he's charging. You know what I mean? To bring his ass back and to be as a white, but I think they could bring him back for at least an episode to show him like that would be good. It'd also be good to see some. I'm not good, but you know, it'd be creepy to see some of these werewolves together hanging out there. You know what I mean? If it jumped like that, but it could definitely be cool. I could definitely see Hodor. It would be a shock for people.
Yeah, I mean, it brought a tear to my eyes when they played that Stark music. Imagine seeing Hodor as a white.
What up, David Adams? I see you, son. What's good, baby?
Yes, indeed. Well, talking about famous whites, I want to talk about Craster. Craster's dead. The Wildlings had a pact with the White Walkers to give their sons up. I always wondered, was it just Craster by himself, or was it a bunch of Wildlings in that village? Teflon, why don't you think George R. R. Martin never elaborated on that?
Well, it comes down to a situation that I've worked on, but I haven't. I think I have the answer to it, but I'm not sure. And when you read the Hard Home chapter, when Mother Mole is trying to take the people to Hard Home to escape, there's this man that is described as the noble knight. This guy. And he has a specific type of armor on that no one else has, that has fancy runes and stuff. And he's trying to lead people to a certain spot. And when you look at the spot he's leading them to, it looks like he's leading them to this death, and people follow him. So this person, I think, is some type of agent that's working for the White Walkers that we haven't really been introduced to. And why else would he be bringing them to this spot? Definitely to get taken over. So I do think that there are other people that are definitely working with the White Walkers. And we heard that the Wildlings have said before in the past that, you know, White Walkers have came in and taken wildling women and stuff like that. So I think that they have some type of maybe some type of like allure to them that makes you fall in love with them or something like that. Maybe they have some type of, you know, you look at them and they can get, because, you know, the Night's King, the Stark that became the Night's King, he wanted that cold ass. He was after. He chased that chick all the way down from the wall. You know what I mean? And you know, when you jump in the motherfucking pool, right? When you jump in the pool and it's motherfucking cold, you know about the shrinkage. Let alone putting your dick up in some ice chick, right? But he wasn't worried about that. Now, whether he didn't have to be because he was a Stark and he was hung like that, but from what Tormund said, you know, Jon Snow's not. So maybe he got the wrong half there. Who knows? But I'm saying, when you stick your shit up in some ice chick, you know, You could take some ice in your freezer, homie, and you could put it in the sock if you want and give it a shot. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, but I'm saying it can't be too pleasant. So the fact this man was willing to do that and chased her down and enjoyed it so much after that he made her his queen, became the night's king, and lived up in the wall. There's got to be something else going on here. You know what I mean? So I just think that, you know, maybe they got some type of spell or something. Sometimes they get around you. They can make you want to be down with them or something like that, or want to be with them.
In my opinion, there's some people in the chat that said, how did Craster do this? How did it happen? In my opinion, folks, Teflon just gave you his reasons. I'm going to tell you one of mine. I think they tricked Craster. In my opinion, I think they did some magically shit to Craster, where they sent their ravens to him, or they sent one of the White Walkers while he was asleep, while Craster was asleep, had him sleepwalk into the woods, into the haunted forest with his baby, and tell him that his son would live forever if you brought him to us. And boom, they made the pact. They said, your son's going to be eternally, mortally, immortal. He's going to stay alive forever and be with us. We are the great others. They tricked Craster. Craster's a fool, but I think he got tricked, because ain't nobody just going to give up their kids, even though it's an abomination, because he had it with his daughters, unless something serious happened. And I think that's what happened to Craster.
I got a video on Craster. I got some backstory on that. People want to look, but let's look at this crusty ass Craster real quick. This is a crusty ass old man, right? This is a man who's living in the spot. Now you got to think about it. You know, this is like living on the frontier, right? Back in the day in the Wild West. He's got his little ass ranch out there in no man's land. He could easily be run over, overtaken, and everything else. Now this man ain't bagging up nobody, right? Unless he's fucking with these chicks in Mole's Town and he got to pay for that, he ain't bagging up no one. So what can he do? He gonna fuck his daughters, right? He gets his chick, he starts fucking his daughters, and he's living up in there. Now he want to be the king of that. He know everyone else think that nasty, but they still tolerate it. Why? Because he's got these White Walkers that got his back. And these motherfuckers know the White Walkers got his back, and that's why he's able to live that life. So I don't know if it's so much of a trick more than this motherfucker was down with it, because he's want to keep fucking these chicks. And he's like, listen, if this is what I got to do to get protected and to keep my dick wet, I'm down with it. And this is what I'm willing to give up my sons. Because why do I need to have these motherfuckers around fucking these my daughters? Because that's what's probably going through his head. I don't want my sons around to take fucking their sisters and take them away from me. I want to fuck them. So I got to get rid of these motherfuckers. They got to go. And I think this is what it is.
Some people think he's of age to be Blood Raven's son. Blood Raven
is Blood Raven's son. I said that in my video. You can check that out, no doubt about it. I think he is. You know what I mean? So check it out. He's definitely the age. Whether he is or not, he is definitely the age. He fits the bill to do it. And I still think that there's something different about it. You know what I mean? Especially when you look at Gilly, named the Gilly Flower. The Gilly Flower's name is Mother of the Evening. That's the real name of that flower. When you look it up, it's called the Mother of the Evening. It's a purple flower. In the show, Maester Aemon even, specifically said it. Gilly, I'm the Gilly Flower. There's no reason for him to say this shit. You know what I mean? They're making that. There's a point that they said that. And I just tell you, if they say it in the show, that it really means something in the books, or they're not saying that shit. You know how they cut shit out. They cut out Lady Stoneheart, but they still made sure you knew that Gilly's name came from that motherfucking flower. Why? It's a purple flower that's called the Night of the Mother of the Evening. And she has the Mother of the Evening baby, the Azor Ahai baby for the White Walkers. She's got the prince that was promised for them. She's carrying around. Well, she was. See, what I loved about the books is how Gilly swapped her baby with Dollar's baby, and Sam and Gilly really don't have Craster's baby with him. Craster's baby is still at the wall. Man, that was too complicated for them to do on the show. They cut that out. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But talking about the wall, all things beyond the wall, Frost Fangs, Benjamin Stark, Hard Home, Mother Mole, all that, folks. We got your questions. Let's start with the Q&A. We got some good ones.
David Adams wants to know, in season 7, what episode do you think that Bran and the Night's King battle will happen, if it'll happen?
I don't see it. I don't see the battle between Bran and the Night's King.
This has got to be the end game, Teflon.
Yeah, I can't see it happening on this season at all. I don't see anyone standing with the Night's King and fighting the Night's King until Jon Snow gets the opportunity to fight the Night's King, and that's the end of the season. Next season, I don't see it going down at all. I think everyone's going to run from the Night's King. I don't think anyone's going to want to face him and fight him. I think they're just going to run. It's going to be a constant fleeing from the White Walkers. It's not going to be people going to man up. It ain't going to be like Daenerys was when she seen these fuckers in the boats and was like, all right, let's go get these motherfuckers. Let me show you. It ain't going to be like that. She ain't on no fucking Bronco coming after the White Walkers like she was in them looking for those motherfuckers down in the flames. Because she got right up on that dragon and was like, motherfucker, let's go. It ain't going to be like that. I can guarantee you it ain't going to be like fuckers is fleeing from the White Walkers because the cold is coming with these motherfuckers. And I hope they got motherfucking over knee deep snow all over. So you could see the problem that people are going to have on their horseback is every time we've seen any battle that has been in Game of Thrones so far, the cavalry has come and saved the day. There's no cavalry with the White Walkers when you got fucking 15 feet of snow. That shit is over. And that's mostly people's number one defense. Ain't going to happen this time versus the White Walkers. Not at all.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is going to be a battle for the end game. I can see Bran helping Jon Snow when Jon Targaryen, fights against the Night's King. I can see that Bloodraven telling Bran that he'll never walk again, but he will fly. Folks, that's going to be for the end game. That's going to be for later on. Okay? There's no reason for Bloodraven to say that to Bran unless it's going to happen. So that's happening when the Night's King and Jon collide, possibly with Dany. I'm going to have a video on this. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to pertain everything that has to do with Lightbringer and what I think Lightbringer is. So stay tuned.
So this is what you have to think about when you hear that line. And first you have to say that it's not a raven or a crow. Bran's already done that. So you must be something more than that. Then you have to think to yourself, Bloodraven is very confident in this. He's already seen this shit. All right. He knows what the fuck is going to happen. He's seen the future already. So he knows the deal. He understands what Bran is going to fly and all that situation. I do believe that it's going to have to be, and there's no other way around it. There's no way around it. It has to be the dragon that Euron takes over. Bran has to try to get back control of this dragon. And the only way that's going to happen is Bran trying to walk it. That after Euron does all of his sacrifices of all the gods, and you can't sacrifice a god who doesn't exist, obviously. So the only way to sacrifice a god is to sacrifice the people who serve the gods. So that's what Euron is doing. He's sacrificing all the gods. After he does that, all the people that serve the gods, after he does that, he will burn down the Isle of Faces when he gets the dragon. That would be the final thing he has to do. The dragon will be under his control. He will have the dragon. I think the only way to regain control from the dragon is going to be Bran to walk into that dragon and take that dragon over and get Euron off.
Yep, and y'all heard it here first. Me and Teflon both believe that one of the dragons will die. In my opinion, I think it's going to be the dragon that was left over for Tyrion to ride. It was going to be Tyrion's dragon, and he's going to end up dying somehow by Euron's hands.
There's people, these main characters that people keep seeing, that they keep showing in the shows. These people got to die. You know, not everyone's got to make it here. So the people got, and the season's starting, it's ticking now. You know what I mean? As soon as next season starts, people got to start going. You got to start thinning the herd. You know what I mean? Peter Baelish, he's got to go. There's a lot of people that got to go. So hopefully that happens. Peace out to Hiking Through with Steffi. Thank you for stopping by while you could. Nice to see you in the chat.
We got one question from Twitter. It's a question that keeps getting brought up, and it's the mythical side, the fantasy side of Beyond the Wall. We're talking about ice dragons and ice spiders. Teflon, will we see it?
I would think that we have to, especially ice, not the spider. I don't see that. There's no reason to see a spider. I don't see the reason. If they were gonna do that, they would have already did that at the wall. I think the fact that they had the whites, the looking like spiders, and the way they were climbing around when they were chasing Bran, I think that's your ice spider that you're gonna get. But the ice dragon, I just don't see, whether it's an ice dragon or a white dragon, a dragon that is resurrected or something like that after Euron gets it killed or whatever, and they take that one over. Whatever happens, they have to have some type of flying animal that could help out, because there's no other way that they could defeat these dragons with it. It's impossible. They're not a threat whatsoever unless they have this weapon, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I feel like the Night's King, he's got so much meat in his army. He's got so many dead bodies of wildlings and this, that, and the third. But when you're talking about dragons and the possibility that the Night's King has to go up against dragons, slamming the ground and making the ground shake ain't gonna beat no dragons, Teflon. I'm thinking ice spiders or something phenomenal has to be used by the Night's King.
It'd be great to see it, but it'd be great to see it. But I think they had their chance to do it. Look, when they did the battle at the wall, how many mammoths did we get? One, all right? So
we got like two.
If they weren't willing to do mammoths, right? I don't know if they're gonna do the ice spider. I really don't. I don't think they're gonna. I think that they're gonna save that money for that ice dragon and these dragons. I think it's been consistent that when they spent money on CGI, it's for the dragons strictly. When they put their money into something for CGI, it's for the dragons, nothing else. They won't do it with direwolves. They don't give a fuck about the giants, but they do about those dragons. They put that money in that. So I would think that's where that money would go.
So you believe? Okay. Well, first, let me just ask you. So you believe the ice dragon that we believe is in the wall, the egg is in the wall, someone's going to hatch it like Yoshi and Super Mario Brothers. Somebody going to hatch that damn egg. Okay, you think that the Night's King is going to use that ice dragon to his advantage?
All right, so we're talking about the egg. If we're going by the books right here, so we know Blood Raven definitely has an egg, and we know Blood Raven definitely has a sword. Those are two things that I guess we have not yet seen in the show. I don't know if we're going to see them in the show. All right. So we know Blood Raven has Dark Sister, and we know he has an egg up there. So I would think if they're not going to do a white dragon and they're going to do a birth of a dragon from a dragon egg, then I think that the Night's King will get his hands on that egg and somehow hatch that egg. Because when you look at the ice dragon, and people could say it's a baby, it's going to take. It says specifically, it says without a doubt that the colder it gets, the quicker the dragon grows. That's the rate of the speed of the dragon. So if it's already fucking cold as fuck out there, that motherfucking dragon's gonna be big as fuck just that quick. And that's the bottom line.
That's insane, Teflon. I can imagine the baby dragon hatching out of the egg and the Night's King using that pinky finger, that nasty cold fingernail of his, touching that dragon in the cheek, just like he did Craster's baby, and turning it into a white dragon.
Yeah, without a doubt. No doubt about it, man.
That is so sweet. I can't wait to see what happens. The ice dragon, that queen possibly left an egg at the wall. And Blood Raven took the egg from Summerhall, didn't he?
He took the egg. He took the egg from the Duncan egg battle. From then, when Summerhall happened, he was already in the tree. He was the three-eyed raven. He took it from the conspiracy of the Blackfires when they were having a tournament for the egg. I do believe it was like a very nice looking egg too. And they had that conspiracy. He took that egg from them, from Sir Arthur Maynard Plum and them when they were doing that, when he disguised himself as Maynard Plum when the plot was going on, the uncovering of it. He took that egg from them. That's the egg that he has in his possession.
Yep. Well, moving on. We got so much to talk about when it's about the wall. We might not be able to do it in one episode, folks, but we'll try our best. And let me get back to the Q&A. We got one from IC Spots, right on the wire. How far south will the others go? T?
Definitely to the neck. I think it could get cracked right there with the hammers of water right there. So they definitely make it that far. I mean, we see snow in King's Landing when Danny is in there from the House of Undying. If that's snow or ash or whatever, but if you look at it, it's not a significant amount. So I don't think they've made it too far. I just think it's still just snowing. You know what I mean? So I think they get that far, and then they get cracked in half. Probably Westeros will get split in two right there, and have to have the battle end around there.
Man, when I look at a map of Westeros, well, let me do the screen share. Let me get this popping. Let me see what I can do.
All right. Yeah, so while Mo gets that going right there, I'm gonna talk to y'all in the chat real quick right here. So what up to my man David Adams? What up to my man Jamie Sneed? What up to Love? What up to Angela Ahai? What up to Renee M? Eli, what's good with you? Thanks for all y'all coming out here, joining me and my man Mo. You know, we try to do this every week for you out here and stuff like that, and give you a drop a little bit. You know, Don Tony Teflon is still on Tony Teflon vacation time, and that means I'm only going to be dropping about a video every 2 weeks or so, not like I normally do and stuff. I still will be here chilling with Mo, hanging out there and everything else. What up, 1998 champion? What up, Ms. LA Rockstar? What up to all y'all? And I'm going to be doing some live streams soon. I know I haven't done any on my channel, but I definitely will be having some going down real quick. What up, Dish Murphy? You know what I mean? We'll definitely be having some. I'm going to do something with Bo, Evil Twin. I'll put something on there with her because she got some stuff she want to say out there. So definitely going to get that popping. So, you know, definitely check Teflon TV out. I definitely have some live streams dropping. Some drunk round tables are coming, people. Are coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Teflon, can you see my screen? Can you see the map of Westeros?
Yes, I can.
Now, folks, this is where they're coming from. These are where the ghouls and goblins begin their summer hunt. Down into the wintry abyss. Down into Winterfell. In my opinion, Teflon thinks they're going all the way down here. They're making it to at least the neck.
Yep.
Now we got the Vale over there. We got the Fingers over here. We got the Westerlands and where Lannisport is over here. In my opinion, I think those motherfuckers can go all the way down to the Reach.
It's possible, but the way I see it is like this: when you bring things up, especially backstories, and you put them in the show that you have to put them in there for a reason. So there's a reason why they brought up that the Children of the Forest had the ability to break the arm of Dawn. All right, they brought that up for a reason. So I do believe that that's going to have to be shown again. And I think that's what the Howland Reed learned when he went down to the Isle of Faces, was the ability to perform this magical spell. And I think that's the logical spot for it to be performed, to try to break Westeros into two to prevent the advancement of the White Walkers.
Yeah, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be something incredible. I can't wait to see what they do. I mean, you talking about zombies just doing what they do, man, just bobbing and weaving, you know, all the way to King's Landing. You know, it's a possibility. There's a lot of things. I can't wait to see it.
No doubt.
Now we got all y'all's questions. We got some more here. Renee asked, and this is specifically for you, Teflon, because we know you did a video on this. Are we getting the Night's Queen?
Who asked that question?
Renee.
Renee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Renee. What up, Renee? Renee, darling, no doubt about it that we're gonna get the Night's Queen. We definitely in the books, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. We will definitely get it. And I think they will show some form of it going down inside. We will definitely get the story of it, the full-fledged story. I think we'll get of the Night's King or something like that with the Night's Queen, how we got turned. You may see an old one like that, but I do believe that in the show you will see Melisandre, as in the books, get turned to the Night's Queen. That's why she's there. That's what it's going to happen.
Now this is serioso, folks. This is serious business, Teflon. We're talking about a main character turning into a fabled, legendary character, Teflon. Now give us the meat of this. Give me the bits and pieces and how you came to this conclusion.
Well, it's just when you look at Game of Thrones and you take everything into account, I always say that, you know, things aren't always what they seem. If you look at the description of the Night's Queen, it's the same description of Melisandre. You just have to change the ice with the fire. It's definitely the same thing. We've already seen her lose her faith and how cold she got when she lost her faith a little bit already. I think you'll see the whole full way of her going all the way down. And I don't think she's going to be killed and get resurrected. I think she's going to willingly give herself to the Night's King. As I said, these guys, they got some, I think that these White Walkers have some type of pheromones on them or something that they can attract the people of the opposite sex to them. I think that's what goes down with them. I remember we have to go by George R. Martin's description of them, and they're angelic beauties, you know what I mean? And they're supposed to be, you know, beautiful people and stuff like that. So I think that's the way it goes down. When you look at everything and you put it down together with Melisandre and Night's Queen, from the description of who the Night's Queen was, you remember that when the Night's King had sex with her, he gave his soul to her. When he gave him his seed, he gave her his soul. You see, when Stannis has sex with Melisandre, what happens? He gives her his soul every time he gives her his seed, and she births a shadow baby. There's a reason why you have this parallel, and this parallel is put in this show, in this movie. And the movie, book, this is the reason why. Because it's the same thing. This is the woman that's doing it, and is able to do that. She is the Night's Queen.
So this is going to be sweet. This is going to be serious to see this on screen. If the Night's King and Melisandre have sex, is there going to be a Shadow Night's King, Tef?
A Shadow Night's King baby? That would be phenomenal. That's
the parallel. That's the parallel right there.
Now, this is an interesting situation here. The Shadow baby for the Night's King. Listen, if she can spit out babies like pew, 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 like that, you know what I mean? And she can hold it out like I'm gonna say this, ladies. Excuse me, real quick, but I don't know if you ever seen the movie. What was it? Beer League. All right. I don't know if you've seen Beer League with Artie Lang, or you watch the Howard Stern show. But I've seen women perform tricks with balls and pew. All right, pew pew pew. Mm-hmm. Now, if she could do that with babies and the Night's King, he doesn't need an ice dragon. Then now you're talking about an advantage that could be unstoppable. You know what I mean? If he's spitting out these shadow babies like a Uzi. You know what I mean? If this is coming out and she's got rapid fire on that, like a Gatling gun of fucking shadow babies coming out of her because the Night's King's potent like that, and she can drop them out like that. Now we talking. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's quite possible.
Yeah. If she can do for the Night's King what she did for Stannis, watch out, Jon Snow and Dany. Because that means it's going to be a hell of a battle. And this is where I see Bran coming in, folks. Bran for the end game. So, let's go back to the Q&A. We got some doozies up in here. We got some good ones. Brendan Smith, shout out. He's got a question.
Cheer.
What gate will Bran and Mira use to cross the wall? Castle Black or the Black Gate again?
Good question. What up, B? I'm gonna say it's gonna be at Castle Black. He's gonna come through because I think he's gonna see Ed and them before the wall falls and stuff like that. He's gonna talk to them. That's where he's gonna get to know where Jon Snow headed to and everything else. Because I think that's where he's gonna look first for Jon is at the wall. Ed's gonna say he's gone. He went down, blah blah, and then that's when he go pass through. And that'll be what happens, allows the Night's King to touch the wall, put the fist to the floor like Jackson, break the wall down.
Yeah, and this is going to be something that I can't wait to see how it transforms, how it transpires. But if Cold Hands has already helped him, you know, like getting to that black door or whatever, that door that only members of the Night's Watch can use in the Night Fort. I mean, Are they going to immediately be inside Castle Black next season? Because I think that's what's going to go down. I think that's how we're going to see the members of the Night's Watch next season, like Ed. And in my opinion, the Night's Watch is over, folks. The Night's Watch is donezo.
Yeah, when you hear
like
Jon Snow says, "Don't knock it down when I get back," that means it's coming down. The wall has to come down. You don't build a huge wall and talk about it in the books the way they've talked about it if it don't come down. Look at everything else that they've done in this show, right? They said that these castles are impregnable. Everyone that was impregnable that they said in the story has been defeated. Storm's End, never taken, has been taken. Winterfell, never been taken, got taken. Dreadfort can't be defeated. They ain't no one up in that motherfucker no more. So all these places that supposedly can't be taken or nothing like that, we see them all get taken. So this wall, which is stood and can't be knocked down, it's going down. And we hear it. He said it. The wall will be standing as long as the members of the Night's Watch are true. They're not true. They killed their Lord Commander. It's over for them. It's done.
Yeah, and this goes
until Jorah Mormont comes back when it's all said and done. Jorah Mormont will get his sword back from Jon Snow. He will survive till the end. He'll get his sword back from Jon Snow, and he will be the Lord Commander of the new Night's Watch.
Yeah, and this piggybacks off Oren Joseph's question, because he basically said, will Ed and members of the Night's Watch help Bran get to Winterfell? And I pretty much think that's what's going to go down, Teflon. I think the Night's Watch is over. They only got about 20 members or less, and it's basically a ruin. It's finito. It's finished. These dudes are all going to go help Jon at Winterfell. They're going to set up camp. At Winterfell, they're going to be absorbed into Jon's army of the Northmen. And Ed's just going to be his right-hand man at Winterfell. The Night's Watch is finished.
I mean, you got to look at it like this. If you have the White Walkers, you have to show them and being a menace, right? So they have to start going through people. The first victims got to be the wall. That's the first people there. They have to kill the Night's Watchman so that you feel bad. Ed has to die. They have to kill him so that you feel bad for these people. And then, sad to say it, and I'm going to tell you straight out that I think that the people in Bear Island, Lyanna Mormont and them, they're probably going to get taken out too. They'll probably kill them and sweep across the... They have to make you feel bad for people that they're killing. These are the people that you know. So they got to kill these people. So the White Walkers will probably come down, take those people out, chase everybody out of Winterfell, chase them down there. Bran will meet up with Jon probably about Winterfell when they're running down there. He'll tell him everything about who he is and say, we have to go down to King's Landing and make a pact with Daenerys, yada, yada, because you are Jon Targaryen. Bran and them, Jon will take off down there. Whether Bran goes with him, I don't know. But I think that maybe Bran will say, while you are taking this pact with Daenerys, we're going to do this break right here at the neck to try to slow them down while you can get this shit decided down there. And I think that's what will happen. And then you see Dany and Jon and them come over there and then fight the Night's King over there by the neck.
Yeah. I'm thinking that some of these Northern Lords, I mean, they're all on Jon's, you know what I'm saying, muscle right now. They want to be in with him. You know what I'm saying? He basically proved to them that he is the Stark. He's the man. He is what he is. But I'm feeling that the Knights of the Vale might not stick around. Teflon, what you think about the Knights of the Vale, man?
I just think that that's a situation that they'll be in the Vale when it all comes down to, but the story is going to change. There'll be, I think you may see 2 weddings next year. You're going to see maybe 2 weddings next year. And I think one of them will happen at the Vale. So you may see that wedding, and then you might see Jon Snow's wedding maybe at the end of the season. And then right when he's doing the marriage ceremony, when he gives the ring to Dany or he's about to do whatever, then you might hear the wall drop right then or something. Who knows? I don't know. It's weird. I have to really think about that because probably when Bran comes through, the wall's falling at the end of the season. You know what I mean? It's not going to fall during mid-season or anything like that. It's the last thing you're going to see is the wall fall at the end of this season, which would be the middle of the regular season. You know what I mean? So that's when the wall is going to fall. Then the second half of the season would be the White Walkers, since this is all really just one season, not 2 seasons. that's the way it would go. So going on that, I would think that if Danny and John are going to get married, which they will, I think it would have to happen, you know, probably by the last episode. And when that happens, then that's when the wall will drop. That'll be their fireworks. The wall falling.
Yeah, and both of us both agree that the wall's gotta fall early, in your opinion, right, Teflon?
Yeah, the wall's gotta fall.
Yeah, and it's gotta be early. It's gotta be probably episodes, maybe 2, episode 3, 4 at the latest. It's gotta be a power punch episode, you know, and that's what it is. Now let's get back to the Q&A. Got some more questions. We got some good ones. We got another one. We got one here from Dish Murphy who says, will the Night Fort play a role in the show at all for the next couple seasons? Will we ever see anything like that?
The Night Fort in the
show?
With
the Night Fort?
No. They're not building no more Castle Black sets. The wall's falling. It makes no sense for them to do that. They're gonna build it just for. You gotta remember, it's one season. I know it. Don't be confused and think there's 2 seasons left. This is one season, right? So think of it as that. It's just may come over 2 years, but it's still one season. So there'd be no reason for them to build that set for the first 5 episodes if the wall's going to fall halfway down through the season, right? At the end of the season, there's no reason they're not going to invest in that. They ain't putting no money in that. Their money is in the shot. What they already released is what they're excited to show you, to get you excited about next season. So you've seen what they're showing. They're showing you Harren Hall. And if they're setting up for Robert's Rebellion after that, that's perfect. And that's what they're trying to get you to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Night Fort, Simeon Star Eyes, you know, it's got all, you know, the Rat King. I loved all them little tits and bits, them little pieces in the story. I loved all the stories about the Night Fort. I hope they show us something. In my opinion, Simeon Star Eyes was a White Walker. I think you've said that in one of your videos, Teflon. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Yeah, Night Fort's a great spot, and the thing when I did the video about the Night Fort, about the Knights Kings Night Fort, I think that's what it's called, the Knights Kings Night Fort. So you can check that out. And my point that I was making there was that the Night Fort is known for atrocities that happen in the Night Fort. And when you look at the things that happen in Night Fort, people go mad, people do this. You have Simeon Star Eyes doing things. You have this lady getting raped, a lady who's dressed up as a man going in there and then getting raped in there. All bad things happen. And if you really look at it, we have the big weirwood tree. So as I said in my video, I don't believe that it's the Night Fort making people going crazy. I believe it's Blood Raven just taking people over in the Night Fort, allowing this to happen. I mean, because they have the one guy in there who goes around and kills all his Night's Watchmen with the axe known as the Mad Axe. But the man first took off his shoes. Now, you can't claim to be crazy, right? You can't claim to be insane, but have the mental capacity to take off your shoes before you murder these people. It don't work. If you went to court and James Johnson was your lawyer, you ain't getting off. I don't care if Johnny Cochran was your lawyer. You ain't getting off because there's no way to explain it, because once the prosecution says, but sir, you took the shoes off. That's it. It's over. You know what you're doing, right? So that shows this person knew what they were doing. The person in control of them knew what they were doing. And I think that was going around in that Night Fort the whole time. Blood Raven fucking with people and making people think that it's people are crazy and they're losing their mind, but it's not. It's just Blood Raven taking people over. Abomination.
Yeah. And the Night Fort and all that, I mean, I hope they call back to something. We got Frey Pies, so that was kind of a little bit towards the Rats King, but yeah.
All right, wait, Emma. Yes, Emma. Listen. I would have to agree. Yes, if Johnny Cochran was your lawyer, I bet those shoes would not have fit that man. So she definitely, most likely, would have definitely got off on that without a doubt. Yes, Johnny Cochran would have got that motherfucker off because the shoes would not have fit. You know what I mean? But listen, people. All right, you can't pull a Mr. Rogers right before you kill people and then say you're insane. All right. If you can't do the beautiful day in the neighborhood line and catch the shoe with the other hand and throw it and catch it and then pick up your axe and go kill people and say I was crazy, I didn't know what I was doing. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? So therefore, I'm gonna have to say that if you pull that off, Mr. Rogers, you're going to jail.
Yeah, that is funny. That's a little detail that George R. R. Martin springs on you. The dude took his shoes off. Now, what kind of crazy dude takes his shoes off, folks? That's what you got to read into it. An old man. If we talk about the North, we talk about the what we got to talk about old Nan. Old Nan's prophecies and words held true, man. She knew what she was talking about. Maybe we do live inside the eye of a green-eyed giant named Matumbo.
Anything old man says is true. Anything old man says will happen in the books. That's just go on that. That's the bottom line. And she says it from the beginning. She told you listen to me, man. Listen, man. All right, let me tell you something, people. Can I talk to you for 1 second? Mo, can I talk to the people real quick? Can I do that?
Talk to the people.
Now, let me talk to you, people. Can I talk to you real quick? Let me talk to you right here. You know, when I told you back in the day, right? We're not talking about 2 months ago. We're not talking about 3 months. I said back in the day, right? Back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I told you these motherfucking children of the forest were evil, and there was plans going on, people laughed at me, right? People laughed at Tony Teflon. People made videos about me. This is me, right? Y'all know you probably seen a couple of them. Tony Teflon, you're a cow. Tony Teflon know what we're talking about, right? But when I told you this shit back in the day, this is what was going down. The Blood Raven ain't nobody's fucking father figure. It ain't going down like that. People laughed at the Don. You know what I mean? He's Don don't know what the fuck he talking about. What the fuck this dude talking about, all right? I told you these things a long time ago, and this is what comes to pass. It's just what it is, people. And it's written there. I'm just looking at the same thing you're looking at, and I think that it's all there. I just think that a lot of times people don't want to believe it, or you know what I mean, or they need to hear confirmation from someone else. I remember I said something in the video, and then Barr said that I said it in the video, and then people still hit me up and say, well, what time is that, Tony Teflon? Can I get a timestamp for that to see if you really said that? Like, you know, it's like maybe you don't want to get to say that I said it or whatever it is. But this is what it is, people. This is what it is. This is what the story is. That's what it's always been. These motherfuckers ain't good, man. I mean, I know we can go on the wrestling phase that there is no good guys, no bad guys, right? It's all gray. But we know that in order to have a story, we must have an evil type side and a better side, right? The Starks are the good side, the Lannisters are the bad side. We know that. So when you say to me that there's no good or evil, we have a good or evil side. That's what it is. You know what I mean? It's just like that. I mean, there's no people running around like Doink the Clown, all right? We don't have that no more, and we don't have Kamala, all right? They took those stereotypes out of the book or whatever and made it to a modern WWE degeneration X era with The Rock and the Nation of Domination and everything else. But even then, when they did that, they had people that you cheered for and people that you boo, right? That's the way it is. And that's what the story is. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah, y'all heard it here first. That was a mic drop. That was the knowledge drop, folks. Y'all here with Genie, Teflon TV. This is what we do. We do what it do is the bareback barbarians, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Kyle's has a question. He says, will we get a flashback scene next season where we see the wall being built by the legendary figures, Brandon the Builder, etc., 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 Teflon?
A flashback. Who asked that question?
Kyle's fucking chicken. Kyle. Shout outs to Kyle.
What up, Kyle's fucking chickens? All right. You see how I said that? That's a good one, right? All right. So you can use that if you want to take it and put it on your show. That's all good. I'm all with it. You know, I don't know if they're gonna invest. And when I look at the show and I look at it as money. That's what I see it as, all money, right? So I just don't know if that's what they're gonna go with it. It would be good. It wouldn't cost a lot too much to show it being built. It makes sense to show it too, to show exactly what went down, with if the children were involved or what spell. Maybe before it comes down, they show this is the reason why it's gonna stand, and if this didn't happen, it won't stand, and that's why it falls down. So that would be the reason why I think they could show it if Brand do show it, but I don't have faith in the producers enough to think that they would go dig that deep into it. I think that they're really just going to go with the fact that Brand has the mark on his arm, and that's what's going to allow the White Walkers to pass through it so that they don't need to explain that story. So for that reason, I'm going to say that we will not see it, but I wish that we would see it. Good question, Kyle.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, Sir Bowster said, where did all the White Walkers go after the original long night in the battle for the dawn? So basically, the wall got built up because it was meant to stop the others, right? So when it stopped the others, in Kyle's question, by Brand the Builder, then where did those White Walkers go when they got defeated? Did they just go back in the tomb and wrap up like mummies and go back to sleep? Teflon?
That's what happened. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is exactly what happened. All right, this is how the whole shit went down. All right, children enforcement were getting their ass kicked. They get murdered. They tried to fight these little motherfuckers, little squirrel people. They fought everyone. They fought the giants. They won. Kicked the giants' ass. They were able to do what they had to do. Took over the land. And they're all happy. Yeah. We did. You know what I mean? Other people come over, the Andos and all these people come. They can't handle the first men. They can't handle these dudes. It's too much for them. Too much. So they create the White Walkers out of the first men, curse them, I told you, and make them. Now, they go back and lay up in the cut. Sit alone. They chill. You know what? We're going to let these dudes do their work. Here come the White Walkers running through everyone, killing everybody. Man don't know what to do. They have no idea what to do. But someone tells man, seek out the children of the forest and they can save you. Right? It's a fake vision. It's one of the children of the blood raven, the green seer, that's sending this message to one of them saying, seek out the children. They can save you. So then the last hero goes out there and he goes to all this trouble and he's searching for the children and they're almost dead. And the children, they find the children and the children say, we're going to make this pact, people. We're going to help you out. We're going to make this pact. We're going to show you how to defeat these White Walkers. And all you got to do is get them with this dragon glass stuff. And this is how you got to defeat them. So they help them defeat these guys. And they use the White Walkers' ice ability to build this wall. This wall is not built by the children of forest or people taking ice blocks. This is the same magic that the children used to create the White Walkers, that they used to create this goddamn wall and put this wall up there. That's what happened. And the other White Walkers now in the show, it seems to be a little bit different. They want to make it look like they're more biological threat or something like that. It's some type of entity where they just, went back to sleep underneath the ice. But I believe that the White Walkers went to the land of always winter. I believe that they do have a form of a culture. I believe that they may have some type of ice huts and houses and all that shit up there in the lands of always winter. And they were just up in there chilling this whole time, waiting for their turn to come back. I don't believe they were just sleeping dormant and laying in the ground and woke up like zombies out the ground. This ain't Michael Jackson's Thriller. I don't see that. I think they were up in there because the Night's King and the Night's Queen, they were up in the wall chilling. Right? They had a bed. They had a place. They were chilling there. So if they're willing to chill there like that, why wouldn't they be doing that somewhere else? So I have to believe they was up in the lands always willing, chilling up in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? This is the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel they got a culture. This is something people always want to know. This is something people want to hear.
These children of motherfucking force, you know what they are? They're these same motherfuckers that give you these pills and tell you your dick is gonna get bigger. They're the same motherfuckers who say put this shit in your hair and your hair's gonna grow. If they're the same, and those people are the same snake oil salesmen that had the motherfuckers here arm wrestle me, take a swig of this little skinny guy and he could beat the big guy. Those same motherfuckers who went from town to town to town and now do infomercials, right? And they sell you these products. If that was the case, everybody would have a dick to the floor. It only costs $40. If that was the case, Charles Barkley would have an afro. You think that fucker wanna be bald? He's rich. His shit costs $20. He would have a head of hair. This shit don't work. It's not going to. That's what these that's what these children do. They brought these White Walkers out there, and then they put it in. You need to find us to save you. We're the only ones who can save you, mankind. Please come to us. These fuckers woke up and I had a vision. I had a dream, a prophecy that I have to find the children to save the White Walkers. That's what the fuck happened. That's what they did. They conned these motherfuckers into it. That's all it is, people. No more, no less. That's what it is.
They freaked them. It's like what we used to say in the old neighborhood. They got bamboozled.
There's no doubt. That's exactly Dish Murphy. Trump University. It's like Donald said, you know, it's Trump University. That's what it is. That motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's Donald Trump type shit like that. Just trying to gas people. That's all they did was gas you to believe that you needed them when you really didn't, because they're the ones who created this shit to get you out in the first place.
Yep, and back to the question of the culture and all that. Love. We got only a few more questions, folks. We're gonna wrap this up here in a bit, but I'm gonna give y'all the last couple of questions here. Love says, do they have a culture? Do the White Walkers do? And in the books, we do know in the very first prologue of the Game of Thrones, the first book, where Nestor Royce's son is at the watch. He's a man of the Night's Watch, all right, and he's out there doing a hunt for the wildlings. They're on a ranging expedition, looking for wildlings that they see that they've made campfires near the wall. And they run up on the White Walkers. The White Walkers run up on them. The White Walkers try to kill them, and that's what they do. But before they kill Nestor Royce's son, you can hear the White Walkers laughing in the book. It says in the writing that the White Walkers laugh before they kill them, Teflon. So they do got a culture.
They did, and they allowed them to go one-on-one. They gave him the head up, right? They gave him the head up. Now we see straight up with the whites, right? The whites are just they're trying to make you believe that the White Walkers are like the whites, right? That's what they want you to believe. That's not the case, because the whites, you see, when they attack people, they just everyone jumping on. They ain't. Hey, this is mine, guy. This is mine. Get back, people. This is mine. It's for me, not you. No, they all just jumping on them, right? These motherfuckers said, nah, give him the head up. So I'm giving the head up. He said, you want the head up with me? You want the head up with me? I'll give you the head up. You want that with me? And he gave him the head up. And he whipped his ass. He said, this dude really want to go head up with me? Is he crazy? And that's what happened. You know what I mean? You can't have that without a culture. You can't have camouflage armor or know how to make that enough to have it on all your peoples without a culture. So there's no way to have that stuff unless you have that situation.
Yeah, I feel like the best way they can show the White Walker culture in the show is basically have like a round table with the Night's King and him chilling with Craster's sons, two of the dudes that he's elevated to general level. You know what I'm saying? And they just, strategizing.
What up? What up to the Oracle, Claire Gray, who has just arrived out there. I have not, I haven't got a chance to speak to Claire in a little bit and stuff like that. So I'm happy to see Claire there, and I hope to happen to get a chance to chat with Claire Gray at some point and stuff, since I haven't had a chance to chat with her in such a long time, it seems. It's very, very bad for me. Now that I see her, I feel crazy now that I haven't spoken to her in such a long time. Though, Claire, I'm going to tell you this, Claire. I watched those nail videos. I'm not wearing them. I'm never gonna wear it. Never gonna try it. Never gonna put my finger in and swirl. Never gonna do that. But I watch every nail video you put out there because you my shorty, without a doubt.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout outs to all the peoples that we love. Shout out
to one day I could have grandkids that, granddaughters or something that want to paint my nails. Then, maybe then they'll come in handy. Something like that. But hopefully no time soon. God damn it. Shit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, Teflon, we can shoot the breeze. We don't even got any more questions. We just chilling. We got about 10 more minutes. We're doing what we're doing.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, this Murphy, yes, I have, my finger's been in swirls. I've done a chocolate vanilla swirl all day, every day.
Oh man, y'all know how we do. You know what the name of the show is, folks.
Yeah, done. It be what it be, man. It be what it be. I ain't afraid of the sweat, baby. I ain't afraid of the sweat. I ain't afraid to sweat for the right reasons. Not at all.
Man, when it comes to the wall, everything beyond the wall, we said everything we could, folks. We talked about Craster. We talked about the White Walkers. We talked about the Night's King. We even talked about the Night's Queen. There's a lot of possibilities.
Wait, I think Claire did ask a question because she wasn't here earlier, and I think the question was like, will we see Benjamin again?
Who asked the question?
Claire. I think she asked the question, will we see Benjamin again?
In the show, I think he's done. He's done what he's done. He's finished doing his thing. He dropped off Brad and Mira at the wall. But in the books, I think it's going to be complicated. I subscribe to the theory. I subscribe to the theory that Benjamin is in the ice cells, Claire. I subscribe to the theory that he's in the ice cells of the Night's King in the books.
No, that. So I think Benjamin Stark, we will see him. As I said, I think Benjamin Stark will be killed by the Night's King next season. I think he would join the Night's King's army. That's my prediction of it. In the show, I mean, in the books, I think it's a different situation. I think that is actually Benjamin in the books. That is the Night's King in the books. I think that's the way it is there. So that's where the two different situations that I think it's going to be. And as for you, I see you, Orange Joseph. Now, the Don ain't cheesing hard. The Don always smiles. I smile all the time. I ain't one of these cats who's so hard that he's upset at 6 in the morning, like that comedian said. And that ain't me, I don't get down like that. I ain't got time for that lifestyle like that. I can't be like me mugging everybody every second of the day. That ain't me. I'd rather just smile and be happy, son.
Yeah. With Teflon.
Yes, sir.
I think we broke down everything we did. We might be able to do part 2 in a couple of weeks, but we got to get to the Veil. We got to get to a couple of places, folks. The prediction show, the prediction series ain't finished anytime soon.
No doubt, no doubt. And people, I usually don't be up in the chat that much, but this whole episode, I basically was watching everything in the chat. So, you say it, I will say it, baby. I will. If you say something in here, I will say something. It's all good. You can say whatever you want. I see it. So if you got something to say about anything, just say it. It's all good. I definitely comment back. I have no problem commenting about nothing at all. You know what I mean? I'm all good with that. It's all love and stuff like that. So I love the chat, baby. I love the chat. Dish Murphy. Every time I see Dish Murphy, I think Murphy Brown. I always think Murphy Brown when I see Dish Murphy. I do. So when I see Dish Murphy, I just think of that show, Murphy Brown.
Yeah, well, you got any future stuff you want to let the people know about Teflon before we?
Yeah, we still got a couple of questions here, real quick. Is it gonna just shut off on us or what?
No, we can take a couple more.
All right, what's the level of evil between the walkers and the children? So that's from Drizus and the level of evil. It's hard for me to understand that question when you say what the level of evil is. I don't know what you mean. Like, if evil was a level 10, how evil are the children and the White Walkers? So if you want to look at it as the way the world is, these fuckers is trying to survive, right? So you could say that, are they evil or are they trying to survive? You know what I mean? The White Walkers right now, to me, are just they're trying to survive, and they're just trying. They want their piece of land. They're trying to conquer. Everyone has the right to do their little conquering thing. Are they doing it in an evil way? You know, depending on how you look at it. I think the children are evil for the fact that they created this whole situation. So I put more of the blame on the children than the actual White Walkers themselves. The White Walkers are just cursed, and now they're forced us to live out their life in this curse. You know what I mean? So the children's level of evil is at a 10 to me. Those are the evilest bastards in this whole situation. And that's the bottom line, because they couldn't win fair and square. They were getting their ass kicked. And so they went to a different rule set of war. And it was a disgusting set. And that's why. But the children aren't stupid. You know what I mean? They could see the future. And I think that even though they had seen they did the White Walkers and they knew all that, they eventually seen the rise of the dragons that were going to come. So they knew in the end that they couldn't conquer man 100%, that they were going to need them in the end for something to get conquered these dragons. So I think that's why they had to come up with this pact, because they seen that shit.
Yeah, and there's a reason the pacts were made during the Age of Heroes. There's a reason the pacts were meant to be broken. That's what it is. You make pacts, and pacts are meant to be broken, and that's what's happening right now. Somebody broke the pact with the White Walkers and the Children of the Forest.
Yeah, something definitely jumped off, or that these motherfuckers just got out of control. They got enough babies from Craster or whatever, where they were able to rally around themselves enough to the point where they were able to come back and do what they had to do. You know what I mean? They could just playing a long game and just sitting back and just waiting and stuff like that and getting it popping and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's a situation, most likely a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? And now they got the shit popping. They got it going on and stuff like that. So they doing what the fuck they do. They got that shit popping. And now they got enough people to take on Westeros, they feel.
Yep.
And all that good stuff. I seen another question. There's questions up in the chat. There's a bunch of questions. You know what I mean? Does Daenerys' destiny take her north of the wall? And is there a possibility that she is the Night's Queen? That's from Jamie Sneed. What up, Jamie Sneed?
That right there is a doozy, because we already think that Melisandre's the Night's Queen. I don't think Dany, for some strange reason, man, I keep not thinking it's possible, but I don't think Dany's gonna see the Night's King. I don't think she's gonna make it up north or wherever the Night's King and his minions come to, man. I don't know what it is. Either it's Dany's not gonna want to go fight them, and she stays and cleans up King's Landing from Euron, and she doesn't want to go up north, and she's like, here, John, you go handle that. Or she's not alive to make it up there, man. It's crazy, bro. I don't think she's seeing the Night's King.
No, I don't know if she'll ever see the Night's King personally, face-to-face at all. I think that's John's fight. Dany's Nisa Nisa. That's who she is. She's not anything else more than that. She's Nisa Nisa. When you look at the Night's Queen, the description of the Night's Queen is tall, slender, beautiful. Dany is short with sausage type fingers. At least Emilia Clarke is, right? So she just don't fit the profile. That's not the style for her, you know what I mean? So I can't see it going down like that with her at all. And if you look at everybody's, like I said, things aren't what they seem. So when you look at like Dany right now, she looks unstoppable. She looks like there's no way she should be stopped. She looks like she done survived the Dothraki. She went through hell and back, and now she's finally got her army. She comes to Westeros. But always remember the line. I forgot who said it, but you remember the line that when people go across the narrow sea, I think it's Tyrion who said it, right? you don't come back and win the throne. It's never happened before. So she may come back and get it for a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be done. Yeah, Amelia Clark's fingers she got little tiny fingers like sausages. You don't see that when you watch it? I see that. That's what it looks like to me. She's got small fingers though.
Yeah. Well, Teflon, I gotta wrap this up because
no doubt.
Yeah, I got something coming through here for somewhere in my office. So yeah, anyways, guys, thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for being here in the chat. This is the Bareback Barbarians. You know what we do is every Thursday, 6 p.m. We move the show to the weekend, and that's what we do. We reschedule, we remove. We bob and reeve. Shake and move. You know what I'm saying?
If you can't get it done Thursday, it's definitely going down the week at some point. You know what I mean? So definitely look for it on Thursdays and stuff like that. But we definitely, if it don't go down Thursday because of scheduling conflict or something like that, it definitely won't be done without the weekend. Definitely check out Street Talk New York. I know it's my fault 100% that the channel has been slacking. But me and Mo, we recording stuff this week, probably tomorrow for it. Without a doubt, tomorrow for it. We're going to record a lot. There's a lot been going on. We got a lot to say about it. So definitely check out Street Talk New York. If you ain't subscribed, please do. And you know Teflon TV. Check me out there. As I said, I got something I'm gonna be working with Bo, with Evil Twin. She got a lot to say. So we're gonna put her on and let her say what she got to say and do what she gotta do. She wants to talk some Game of Thrones. Claire Gray, holla at your boy. You know what I mean? Everybody in the chat, good looks for everybody coming out. Mo, what you got anything else saying? And I am working on a video. I am working on something. Another theory video that will probably be released not this week, but probably the following week after that. I don't want to say what it is because every time I do, then I wind up doing something different. So, but it is something definitely I'm in the editing stages of it right now. So I'll put it out probably next week sometime. Yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned. We got a whole bunch of new content for Street Talk NY. Make sure y'all check out that page. We're gonna, if y'all like politics, we're gonna be talking so much politics, so much goodness on the political front. No doubt. And the thing is that a lot of things have been so negative. I was really trying to wait to get to more positive stuff because there's so much negative stuff in the news, but this is what it is. So we have no choice. The show must go on. So we just gonna have to talk about this negative stuff until the positive stuff pops up. Yeah, so make sure y'all like this video, subscribe. Y'all know where we are. We got videos coming this week. Everything's solid. It's Mo Genie. It's Teflon TV. It's the King of the North. And we out. So, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.